Buenos noches, or is it tardes? I never remember. Tubers of the U. It is me again. Last night's game was one of those things. The Leafs were in Columbus to play the Blue Jackets, who they played at home earlier in the week, and this is a prime example of the hockey gods evening things out. The game earlier in the week, the Leafs didn't play well. They got down early 2-0, but they made enough of an effort over the next two periods to mount a comeback and eventually take the game, a game they probably shouldn't have won. Last night's game, on the other hand, was a game where it was a close, good game, but the Leafs they definitely had the edge. They should have been the winners, but they ended up losing 4-2. That's just the way hockey works. It's that the equalizer always comes through in these situations. So, Fred had a lot of good stops, but he also wasn't as sharp as he normally is. And they just got some bad bounces, didn't get any much by Bobrovsky, and that's the way it goes, right? So the goal scorers were Kapanen with his 10th, which is crazy. And then Hainsey got the other one, his second of the year, and he never scores goals, so that was cool to see. So that's about it. There's not much else to say about the game other than they should have won, but didn't. Oh well. They got Philly tonight, and hopefully that'll go the other way. The bright side is that soon a couple of things will be coming to a head. The first one, Matthews should be back from injury soon. He's still wearing the red no contact jersey in practice, but it looks like he's very close. So hopefully he'll be back in the lineup sometime in the next, within the next week, 2 at most, but hopefully it's within the next week. And then the other thing is the whole Nylander contract holdout situation, which either way, either he's going to be back in the lineup or they're going to have a new body they trade for in the lineup, because they have to either sign him by December 1st or he's not allowed to play the rest of the season. And I think he even forgoes his salary because he doesn't have a contract. So, and he's not going to want to do that one way or the other. So, this whole my opinion on this thing is that I know all these hockey players are super confident, want to be the man, are believers in their own abilities and stuff, and he's a talented player. But Toronto is one of the few teams in the league who have this situation of they have all of this talent together all at one time, which won't last forever, but it's the way it is now, and they have to think of the future. If he thinks they're gonna give him a bunch of money that they shouldn't, which will compromise their ability to sign Marner, Matthews, Tavares, Riley, and Anderson, then he's smoking crack. Because Marner, Matthews, and Tavares are all better than him. And they're not just better offensive players, but they're better two-way players as well. They all have more to their game than just scoring goals. Nylander's one of those guys who, yeah, he's talented, but, does he loaf on the back check? Does he play a hard defensive game? Yes, he loafs, and no, he doesn't play a hard defensive game. It's something that could come in time, but, what are you going to do? You going to sign him and hope rather than sign these sure things? No, you're not going to do that. So that's 3 forwards that have to come before him. You need good defensemen, and Riley's turning into a stud, so he's going to get signed before Nylander. And then one of the biggest backbone of any team is a goalie, and they have a good goalie now. So, they're going to let Anderson get away to give him extra money. It's not going to happen. So this is one of those things where he and his agent have to kind of look at it and go, well, yeah, either we request a trade or we sign for something more friendly to them, so that's the way it is. That's the way I see it anyways. And if they trade him, I love Nylander. He's a great player, and I'd love to see him back in the lineup. But if they trade him and they get, somebody to help out on the D pairings, because Hainsey's getting older, he's going to have to, be replaced at some point. And the defense is the weak spot on their team. Or I think it's fine, but defense wins championships, and you need to keep upgrading. You need to keep bodies coming in and out and constantly improve, right? So that's their biggest area of need. So if they can flip him for a good defenseman, I'm fine with that. Either way, if he's back in the lineup, great. If they flip him for a player or some picks or whatever, great as well. I just don't want to see him not play the rest of the year and them get nothing for it, right? So, which isn't going to happen, but yeah, those are my 2 cents on the whole situation. And either way, December 1st is coming soon, so we're going to find out one way or another in the near future. So fingers crossed, and I will be back tomorrow morning after the Leafs trounce Philadelphia, hopefully. I hate Philadelphia. Oh, God. The only time I ever liked them was when Eric Lindros played there for however many years he was there. I went from hating them to loving them just because of him. And once he was gone, and of course that was a messy situation, so it made me hate them even worse, and I've hated them ever since. I hate the Flyers. So let's hope the Leafs give them a pretty serious whooping tonight. And if they don't, and they're on the opposite end of one, it'll just don't even think about it. Anyways, hopefully I'll be back tomorrow morning with some better news than this morning. Bye bye.